чертов! Будь ты проклят! Иди, идиот, трахать тебя и всю семью! Говно собачье, жлоб вонючий! Дерьмо, сука, падла! Иди сюда, мерзавец! Негодяй, гад, иди сюда, ты говно! Жопа!
Опачки!
Будь ты проклят! Дерьмо, сука!
Opatchkast.
Hello and welcome to the Opatchkast, the weekly kind of Average Joe Tarkov podcast. I am Dirty,
And I'm Hi Mark.
and
And
we have a special guest with us, and that is
thriftstorejesus. I'm him.
yeah. So if you can't tell, we all look like oafs, so we're all related. Thrift Store Jesus is my brother.
Whenever
Go ahead.
you hear the podcast say Cameron, whenever they say the name
Yeah.
Cameron, that's me.
That's yeah.
So
Yeah, and he's the one that we're trying to get him into the game. He's a level 4 now. I think he just hit level 4 today,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
So he's the one we've been talking about the last podcast, maybe the last two podcasts that we're trying to
Specifically
Definitely
the last one.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were talking about is Tarkov too hard for new players, right? This
Yeah.
is kind of our canary in the coal mine, if you will, of a new player.
yeah. He's a little bitch too, but
That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
so I got a question for you, Cam. So far, how are you liking it?
Hold on. Where you're just gonna jump
What-
right
what-
in?
let's
You're just
let's
gonna
do
jump
the
right in?
fucking-
Yeah, we got our.
I've listened to the podcast. I edit the podcast. Let's do the normal podcast.
Yeah, what the fuck you been doing this last week? What's been going on?
You start.
Me?
Nolan.
Yeah.
What have I been doing? Fucking nothing. I've been sitting at a desk all day long. I've played Lost Ark a lot.
Still, I mean, you're still like just full on grinding that game.
Yeah, I don't know.
You haven't
why.
lost interest in it at all. It hasn't really.
No, I have three level 50s. Well, one's a level 52, but yeah, and I'm almost tier 2 with one of them, tier 3 with one, and then I'm staying tier 1 with my paladin because I don't like the paladin. I made him and then realized I fucking don't like the playstyle of paladin. So
You have your what's the fucking first one?
Deathblade.
Deathblade, and then your mage. Did you keep your mage?
No, actually, my other one that I'm leveling up right now is a berserker
Oh, is it? Okay.
because of Asmongold.
Did you have to do you have to level that third one to 50?
Nope. No, you get the free one. So the next one, if I want to get another one to 50, which I think I'm going to, I'm going to get.
You already leveled one to 50 with the free one, right?
You get 2 free ones.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah. So as soon as you log into the one that you just boosted, and you play a little bit, you'll get another notification up at the top left saying you get another burn pass, and
I
then
see.
yeah. So but the next time I level up another character up to 50, I'll get another burn pass, and then when I use that burn pass on that person, I'll get another burn pass. So I'll have 6
So
level.
basically, every one that you do manually, you get
Yes.
2 automatic.
Oh, wow.
At least that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm going to here soon because I want to level. I want to level up.
I could not be bothered to do that whole thing again.
Fuck no! I haven't
Dude,
even done it.
you didn't
I
even
haven't
finish
finished
it.
Yeah.
You didn't even finish it.
I didn't
Yeah,
even-
and I burned through it as fast as I could, and I couldn't wait to get through it.
You know what's crazy? I'm thinking about doing it with a Deathblade again.
Why?
The same
Why?
because I like Deathblade a lot.
Then
But
why
why
do
do
it
you
again?
need 2? Why do you
Yeah.
need 2?
Because then I can transfer all the gear I'm not using on my main one to my secondary one, and then those two can complement each other and get more gear, and yeah. The game is a grind.
Yeah, it's too much of a grind. That's just ridiculous.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
I like that. I like Lost Ark a lot, but I'm not gonna fucking quest for another
Mm-mm.
30 hours. I just don't care.
I think I could do it a lot faster. I think I can get it done in 15, maybe 10.
But still 10, like that's 10 hours that you're doing the same thing you did before, and that thing that you're doing before fucking sucks.
Right,
There's nothing fun about
and the
questing.
other part is like you get to do dailies again, right,
Yeah.
with your alt, but only so many of them, only what, like 2 of the 3 dailies you can actually transfer to your main.
It depends. Um, so the dailies. No, so the dailies is stuff that you can be is tradable. So I can any dailies that I do with any of my
But I
characters.
thought it was just the chaos dungeons. You couldn't get, like, any of the monster hunter fucking things, or the other ones you can't transfer. Those aren't transferable.
Yeah, they
Anything you
are.
get off of those.
Yeah, they're all they're all it's like heartstones, or it depends on what tier you are. But yeah, those are all transferable too. Yeah. But yeah, that's my next goal. Is I'm gonna do my dailies and then kind of slowly level up a Deathblade. I'm just gonna watch D&D shit and just fucking mindlessly click quests.
I don't know.
Not me.
It just didn't. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like Cameron, I got when we got to the PvP unlock when you got
Yeah.
to Vern. I think it was Vern, right? And unlock the PvP. That was the good. That was good at that point. I went way further than Cameron did. He only, Thrift Store only stopped at Vern when we
Yeah.
got to PvP. I went to. I ended
You got
up
all the way
going-
to level
I got all the way to level and did
Yeah.
so I could do chaos dungeons and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and then started going, made it to 660 item or
600.
600 item, and started the next part of the quest, and it was just like, nah, I'm fucking done.
Actually, you never got to tier 2, right?
I did. Yeah, because I got to the new. Is that tier
No.
2?
No, so there's two different parts of tier 1. There's like one half of it is in the Vern, and then the other half is in a different area. So you only got to like 460 item level, which
No,
I'm at.
I got higher than that.
I don't. Oh, I think you were at 500. But when you hit
Yeah.
600, you went to tier 2.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then
maybe I didn't quite make it to tier 2 then.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway,
my other
that
guy's
was-
almost at tier 2.
I just couldn't be bothered anymore. It was the questing was just hit fucking was it space bar as fast as you fucking
G.
could to get a G to get through
Yeah.
shit, and it was just like, nah. If the questing was better, maybe I could be.
What the
did my
fuck happened?
camera just go crazy for some reason? Whatever. Yeah. If it was actually the quest actually mattered and the story was fun, maybe I could see doing that kind of shit, but
Yeah.
nah. It was just nah.
So what have you been up to then, Dad?
So this week I was actually home, so I got to do some playing a little bit. So I've been playing Tarkov. We've been running some raids in Tarkov, and then I was running some raids in the Cycle Frontier. And then playing some League of Legends, like I said before, when I started getting the PvP in the Lost Ark, it kind of sparked that thing in League of Legends for me. So,
Yeah.
I started playing a little bit of that, but not much. That's basically it, just for my playtime. The other thing I did was, you can see behind me, that's where I've spent a bunch of my time in is getting that guy back up and running. Lots of water and planting and all that kind of stuff, trying to get that up and running. So got
Is the
some fish
back-
in it, but we'll get more.
Also, physically moving it into the fucking.
Physically moving it, that was a
Yeah.
bitch because it's heavy.
Yeah,
Thanks
how
for
many
helping
gallons
me.
is it?
It's 90.
90 gallons?
Yeah, so it's
Hey, fuck you,
it's the
Cameron.
same footprint as a 75-gallon tank, but it's like a foot taller or
Okay.
9 inches taller or something like that. So it's a 4 foot by 2 foot footprint, and then it's whatever to make it 90 gallons. So
And then also, do you have like a blue, like, I know you have the backgrounds on them. Is that like a blue background? Is that why it looks so like royal blue?
no, because right now I have a what's called a 24-hour light. So it goes through the light that's on it goes through a full 24-hour cycle, and right now it's kind of in the midnight, or not midnight, in the nighttime blue light mode. And so in here in about an hour and a half, it's just going to shut off entirely and
Oh.
stay off until about 8 in the morning, and then it goes through kind of a sunset red orange color until it goes full light. So it has
Oh,
a
that's cool.
full it has a full thing, so I don't ever have to touch it, and it's always got good light for my plants and all that kind of stuff. So
That's cool.
yeah, kind of taking it a
Oh,
little more seriously this time than I did back when we had just the cichlids in there, because
yeah.
they were
Well,
so bulletproof, and I couldn't have live plants in there because they just eat them. So
yeah. Well, also you don't have fucking kids that are tiny. No, we weren't tiny, but we were still pretty dependent on you compared to what we are obviously now. So yeah, I
still
feel like you.
dependent on me now.
And when I was a
Fucking
kid, I always wanted to throw shit in the fish tank. I wanted
Hmm.
to throw everything in the fish tank.
Well, it's fun to watch those things float down to the
Yeah, it's
bottom.
fun to create. That's why I'm into like mapping, because I was just mapping for fishes. I was just
Yeah.
yeah, I
Just
was just
making maps for fishes.
throwing spoons in there and shit.
Yeah, I remember Matchbox cars, dude. Throwing
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was great.
This
We
Okay.
were
is
just
this is
creating
what
a,
I this
a
is what I
city
deal with.
scene of city streets.
Yeah, dude.
We're
Jackasses.
creative.
They were.
Well, now you're black and white,
Oh
Dad.
my god.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
sorry.
Okay.
It went
Yeah,
Schindler's
my
List on us for a little bit.
oh Jesus.
So Cam, what have you been up to this last? Oh, bad time. Oh my god,
now
Deb.
Dad's.
I know.
Dark.
I'm playing with this stuff now because it was pissing me off. Okay, I'm good now.
Okay.
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
Well, we play a little bit of Tarky.
Yeah.
Obviously. Recently been playing my racing sim. Been playing some just some iRace. Not doing any races, just practicing because I'm fucking rusty. I haven't played in a long time.
Yeah.
And then doing dirt rally, just doing single player rallies, getting back into it. It's so fun. I fucking love dirt rally. And then other than that, my usual boomer shooter shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know you're. I still don't understand how you're into those boomer shooters.
because they're fun. It's
Are
like
they,
old
though?
school, fast paced fun. Yeah, your brain's too slow.
No. My brain's
Yeah.
too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like Lost Ark.
Yeah.
It's way too slow.
Lost
you
Ark's
like-
mechanics. Okay. Don't get me started. All right, I'm not even.
You like? I mean, listen. Like Tarkov is fun, but it's so fucking slow. You
Yeah.
need something. I need something fast paced.
Yeah, that's why I play melee in between.
Yeah. Well, or you could. I mean, but it's not a shooter, is what I'm saying.
Oh, a fast-paced shooter.
Yeah.
I wish I
Movement,
could. I wish I
Fast
could play
fucking
Apex.
movement. Yeah.
But for some reason, some dude in Ethiopia played my fucking account and then got it banned. So that's fantastic.
He was just trying to. He's a prince, and he was just trying to give to you a bunch.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Just
I
trying
never
to give
got
you a
back
bunch
to
of
him.
money through your EA account.
It's just gonna buy you a bunch of skins.
Yeah, he did, and apparently he didn't pay through the credit card, so the EA got pissed and banned me. I guess is what happened. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. You guys ready?
Yeah.
The Tarky talks.
Okay.
Oh, joy.
Cameron,
Yeah.
how are you liking it so far?
It's good and it's bad. The shit. The
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause it's just it's hard. It's hard to continue playing because when you go into a raid and you don't see anybody and then you get shot in the head and fucking die, it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna stop playing. It's not
Yeah.
worth it. But like getting into firefights and having them be fun and like getting something out of it.
Yeah.
That I love that part of Tarkov. That's so fun. I
Yeah.
love peeking corners and hitting people and then stealing their shit afterwards.
Yeah,
That's
even
the best,
even
right?
when you,
Stealing
yeah.
their shit afterwards. That's
Yeah.
that's the best. That's the best
Yeah.
part.
even when you get into a good gunfight and you die at the end in Tarkov, like a good gunfight, not just a
Yeah.
fucking one tap fest. It feels good, even though you died at the end. You're like, God damn, that was a blast to fight those
Yeah,
people.
it was
Yeah,
intense.
it gives me it gives me like Arma vibes.
Yeah.
Like you're like they're on one mountain, you're on one mountain and you're just shooting back and forth using communication with with your teammates, trying to, you'll have some people rushing them, some people hitting them from afar.
Yeah.
I love that part of Tarkov. I don't love the dating sim part of Tarkov.
What do you mean by dating sim?
Okay, so I said this week at work with Colin. I
I
said
loved it.
Tarkov is
By the way, just so you guys know, these two actually work together.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they're both my kids. They've lived together their whole lives, and apparently they just couldn't get enough of each other, so now they work together as well.
It just happens to work out that way.
Yeah.
I don't know and say that's exactly what happened, but yeah, Tarkov is a dating sim. Like half of Tarkov is a dating sim.
Okay.
Because if you've played, there's some dating sims where you like have to get items, and if the girls like them, then you get better reputation with them, sort of deal. You level up. It's the same shit with traders. It's a fucking dating sim.
You know what? This is
Like, I'm trying to
probably literally the first time I've ever heard this.
I was thinking about it the other day. Like, I'm trying to get merchant's pants. So, like,
Trying to
I'm
get
bringing
into
him-
fucking Prap Wars pants.
yeah.
But
So instead of bringing him a fucking rose, I'm bringing him a fucking MP 133 shotgun.
That's so good. Dude, I can-
It is. It's a dating
Jesus
sim.
Christ.
That's funny. Dude, it could be even considered a dating sim with the guns in the game too, because like you put more items on the gun treats you a little bit better. You get more you get more experience to your gun. You're like, God damn, this feels good to help, shit like that. Yeah, no, I totally.
Wait, you should know all about this, Colin, with Lost Ark.
Oh yeah, that's a part of it, right?
That's a whole
Yes.
part of
You
Lost
can like
Ark.
write love letters and shit. In Lost
The
Ark.
only
Yes.
reason I do that shit is because I need silver and gold. So I give them a few gifts,
Uh-huh. You're a simp.
and then
You're a simp.
no, I go for the
Yeah.
guys mostly,
Yeah. Me too.
and the dragons. There's a dragon in the last area that you can
date a dragon.
you can kiss up on,
That's I've
Yeah.
been on some subreddits and things.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Oh, you guys scare me sometimes.
I swung them all,
Um,
sister. I've been there.
So so that's but you are liking it. Yeah.
Generally,
that's good.
I'm liking. I like the fashion show when you're geared up and you're all pretty.
Yeah.
So
when you're
Barbie simulator, dating simulator with a
Yeah.
little bit of gunplay in between when you get a good one.
I didn't say I liked the dating sim part of it. Like, there's for a new player, there's almost too much shit to pay attention to,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to like your relationships with traders or like the hideout. I haven't done a single. I've never even looked at it. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, that's the mobile game portion of Tarkov.
Oh yeah. Oh, so the game is it covers all. It's a
Yeah.
RPG, first person shooter, military sim, dating sim, and fashion sim.
Mobile game.
Yeah,
Mobile game.
game.
Yeah, but the mobile game isn't pay to win, so it's making strides in its own area.
Dude, Tarkov is pay to win.
Yeah, no. Well, I do have a bigger stash than you because I did pay a little bit more money, but
Yeah, but he could make the stash that. So it's that old thing: is pay to win the same thing as pay to progress?
progress
Or
is
pay
League of Legends.
is pay to win the same thing as pay for convenience?
Yeah,
'Cause I think
Is
that's
League of
what it
Legends Pay to
is.
win? Is League of Legends pay to win?
No. Well, no.
No,
I don't
no.
think so.
Because you get more characters, the more you pay.
You could if you decided to buy characters.
Yeah, it's convenience. So I'd say Tarkov is pay for convenience.
The difference is like
Yep.
Tarkov. You having a bigger stash doesn't change how like the fundamental game plays
True.
at all.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't change how when you go into a raid, it doesn't make you one tap them better. But like a character in League of Legends could be objectively better at that point in the meta. So like League is like a wishy-washy. I don't think Tarkov is at all. I don't think Tarkov is pay to win.
I would agree, and most things that you can get through that the Edge of Darkness, you can get end game now. I don't think you can get the gamma yet. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the
You
only
can't
thing
get the gamma. You can get the epsilon, which is slightly worse than the gamma, and then you can get the kappa, which is better than the gamma.
Yeah, and you can do all that free to play. Well, not
Yeah.
free to play. Well, the equivalent to free to play.
Yeah,
I've been, I've been
you
listening
can
to too
do
much
all
Lost
that,
Ark shit.
Yeah.
which is pay to win.
Well,
It's kind of pay to win.
It's pay to win.
it's pretty pay
But
to win right
it's
now.
hard to expect a game that's free to play to not be pay to win.
Pay to
True.
win. Yeah.
Especially Korean MMO.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But yeah, so what were you trying to say? I heard you were trying to speak in earlier. Oh, never mind.
No.
So how have we been doing anything to help your experience, or do you think you would have been? Obviously, you wouldn't have been better on your own, but going in, just watching some videos, or like, is there anything we could even help with more, or what are you thinking in that aspect?
I don't think there's anything more. Like obviously I've never watched any like Tarkov videos really.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
watched some General Sam videos, but it's not like he's fucking teaching you anything.
Yeah.
You know?
He's teaching you how to be a rat.
Yeah. Yeah, to fucking to
Exfil camp.
extract camp. Yeah. But it's not like a game where I'm so addicted to it that I'm gonna watch videos on it.
Yeah.
It's like just a fun thing to play. I'm not gonna be the person who has every trader leveled up all the way by the end of the wipe, and has 12 million rubles. Colin, I'm not that.
Why
I'm
why
just
is
not gonna
this?
be that guy.
Why was that so directed towards me? You even hit the
I'll be
number on the
honest.
dot.
Well, I'll be honest.
I know I
I've been playing this game for a while now. Colin and I both have. There have been, I can say 3 wipes that I've gotten max traders, maybe 4.
Really?
Yeah, I have not lasted very long. I shouldn't say that. I haven't played it extensively every single wipe to get to max traders, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't happened that. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's closer to 6. Anyway, there's been plenty of wipes where I've gotten to like level 34, level 36, and just kind of petered off, right? Because there's been some pretty horrendous wipes. Let's not fucking beat around the bush here. There's been some pretty horrendous wipes. I did not play at all or very little last wipe because I was bored to fucking death.
I think I was 24. I think I got to level 24 or something.
Yeah.
I think I got to the flea market, realized, God damn, this wipe is just dog doo doo, and just stopped.
And just didn't play. Yeah, exactly.
Well, what was fundamentally different about that wipe? What was
So what they did in the beginning of that wipe, which was a big thing for me, was they tried to make the wipe last a long time. So they made it to where the flea market was level 20. And before, it was level 5. You had to be level 5 to get to the flea market. Now it was level 20. And that's days and weeks of difference if you're not a freak psychopath like Pestily or any of those guys. But yeah, I mean, they made it to where it was almost too hard to level up and get to that point where you have that flea market where you have more freedom in the game. And then they had the problem of where as soon as you got to that point, you became super overpowered because every bullet you could buy off the flea market, everything you could buy off the flea market, which made it very, very hard to not run just the best gear.
You had a massive class imbalance is what ended up happening is you had the
100%.
people that no life the game, that could afford to buy all the best armor and the best ammunition, right? To defeat the best armor. Versus everybody else that couldn't get there, right?
Yeah.
That just either didn't play it enough and just couldn't get there, and were just getting absolutely destroyed in every single way, right? Yeah. And the big issue with that was so that instead of prolonging the early game like they wanted to do, what it did was the people that it hurt to prolong the early game, guys like us that didn't play, fucking 10, 15, 20 raids a day, right?
Yeah.
It prolonged the early game for us, But unfortunately, we were going against all late game people for every in every hotspot. You know, places like dorms and things like that at customs were all the hotspots, and would just get melted. You know, it was nice that when you did catch somebody off guard and you got one of those thick boys, it was a big come up.
Yeah.
But it was hard to do it, right? Because
Yeah,
of how they did that.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it was like they punished the average Joe and inadvertently made the person that's playing 16 hours a day way more powerful because they can get to that power spike, which was level 20, a lot
Right.
faster.
Yeah.
And then they would have the big one's ammunition. When you can buy BP off the flea market right away, it's like at level 20 and everybody else is running tier 4 armors, you're going to 2-tap somebody through the armor even with the 7.62 by 39 BP. So it's like that's not even PS takes I think like 4 or 5 shots, right? Or something like that.
Right.
So it's like that's a big difference, and it made the game feel worse in a lot of different ways. And the other problems were hackers were huge. The
Like the consensus was like I can't. The raid is already too far gone. I'm not level 20 yet. I'm just gonna wait for the next raid or for the next
wipe.
Wipe. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, wipe. I'm just gonna wait for the next wipe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the consensus, and there was no new content, which was the big one. That wipe didn't. I don't think it had anything new, right? It did have. It had some new guns and shit.
It had a couple new guns, and they expanded a couple of maps.
But no,
That
no
was the
new
woods.
map.
The woods expansion was in that wipe.
I don't think. I think that was the wipe before.
No, it was that wipe.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so there wasn't any crazy new content or anything like this one that had lighthouse and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was a tough one all around. I think they did a good job with this wipe with expanding that early game with how they did it this time.
I
Right?
agree.
Right, by eliminating the ability for people to buy and sell all the high tier ammo and armor on the flea market and they lowered the flea market limit to what is it, level 7 or 10 now? I don't remember.
It's 15.
Is it 15? Okay.
Yeah.
They
Which is
dropped that back
significant.
down. Yeah, they dropped because of how exponentially harder it is to level
Yeah.
up as you go, right?
Yeah.
So bringing it down to 15 was a significant decrease. I think they could probably even go to 10 now personally, but that's just me. But with those two changes, actually extended the early game of Tarkov, which is a consensus is everybody's favorite, right? I don't think there's one person that's going to say they don't love early game Tarkov, right? So and this wipe actually did a good job of extending that early game out,
Yeah.
significantly longer than it was before. In the past, that early game Tarkov where you're fighting each other with SKSs and shitty 9mm guns and stuff like that game lasted less than a month, right? A couple 3 weeks
Yeah.
before. This time, this wipe, it was a 2.5 months that lasted. And even still, I'm still playing early game wipe, right? I still don't buy a meta gun, because I can't afford it. So I just buy whatever or use whatever I get out of the
You know
raids
why,
with.
Dan?
Because
But
I
that's
suck.
because
I
you're
know.
upgrading your hideout, right?
I'm
Thank you,
spending
Cameron. Thank you, Cameron.
I may be new, but I know.
Thank you, Cameron.
I know what's up. I
That
listen
is
to the podcast. I'm a listener.
You're not wrong. I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. I've spent a shitload of money in that hideout, and I don't know. And I'm not gonna argue as much with you about this anymore, Colin, because I'm coming over to your side. It's not as beneficial as it seems. Don't. No.
Got a justice boner. He's about to fucking.
Yeah. He's all bricked up
I
right
told
now.
you so,
I'm bringing some of
I told you so.
bringing some of the fucking the GTA jargon in here. He's all bricked up right now.
I'm not
No.
gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say that really, that's interesting, Dad.
No,
That's
it
the
is
most
not.
condescending way to say. Really?
I know, really.
That's interesting. Almost seems like I was right all along.
I didn't. Say
However,
that. Okay, let's hear the however.
you almost have to complete some of the quests. because we don't go to places like Labs and Reserve to get the gear. So you have to level it up so that you can build those things to have them found in raid to hand in.
Can you give me an example, please?
VPX,
You get them off a quest.
not enough. Like I just had to build 2 of them to give to somebody, mechanic, I think. Anyway,
You just go to Giving Tree.
VPX. Stop. Just stop. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I understand. That's and if I played Labs more, if I played Labs at all, I might actually get some of these other items, right?
Yeah.
If I played Reserve more and just ran, just did loot runs at certain locations, I could get some of these things, but I'm not a big just loot run person. I like to go play the fucking game, right?
I agree.
And I will do money runs. I'm not above a money run. I'm going to have to fucking do some this week after work, while I'm waiting for you to get on, because I'm fucking broke right now because I had to spend a bunch of money in the hideout and spend a bunch of money on parts so that I could build a LEDX, so that I could give a fucking LEDX in the dating sim to Miss Therapist to get the handy from Miss Therapist, right? to get to that level.
That must be one of the saddest handies you've ever gotten in your life.
I bet she's great at it.
No.
She's experienced as
She's
fuck,
a fucking
dude.
pro, dude.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Come on.
No. People are going into her to give her handies. She's not giving handies out, bro.
Imagine the amount of cock she's seen.
She's seen a lot of cock, but she's
Literally the only female in the entire game.
True.
It's a sausage fest.
But she looks better when Peshley's the fucking character. I mean,
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
So I mean,
Ashley was a more attractive woman than the therapist is.
The therapist, yeah. I'm sure it's like Nikita's wife or something. Sorry, Nikita. But
I'm not sorry.
Oh.
well, I mean, they do all that like the the charisma the charisma emoticon or whatever the fuck it is when you go into your stats. It's just what's this? Oh my god, Venom. Who's the actor from Venom?
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy's face from like here down in a movie.
Is it really?
Yeah.
God,
I've
Russians
never
can get away with some crazy ass
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. It's just Tom Hardy's
insane,
face from
man.
like here
Well,
down.
it's like you look at all the fucking crazy, like the Slickers. It is a fucking Snickers bar.
Yeah.
It just says Slickers.
Idea is a great
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo Toda.
Well,
Yo Toda.
Some of the shit they don't even censor. Like, there's literally two times today playing scav runs, my hats were just the Superman logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally the Superman logo. That's not public domain.
No.
You shouldn't be able to get away with that. But
I got a
they're
question
Russian,
about that.
so-
How does I saw a thing on Family Guy where they had Superman and fucking Batman. How are they getting away with that shit?
They're getting away with that because it's parody. So that lies within fair use. Yeah.
Okay.
It's parody, but it's even then it's kind of sketchy.
That's
Like,
what I thought.
Yeah. But
And Spider-Man. It was like all in the same episode. I'm like, this seems a little fucking sus, but I don't know.
yeah, but it's in fair use it has to be like a it's like either has to be educational, parody, transformative enough where it can't be seen as the original thing.
Yeah.
And Tarkov does not land that.
No, dude.
That is literally the Superman logo. It's not a parody of the Superman logo. It's not like a penis instead of an S or something. It's literally the Superman logo.
like.
Well, they've gotten slapped for it before. The hatchet that EOD gets used to be a Fiskars hatchet. It was a Fiskars hatchet made by Fiskars, had all the logos and everything on it. And now the one we have is a generic version of that.
Yeah.
They changed it, right? They got rid of it completely.
They probably got a cease and desist.
Because they probably got a cease and desist. Yeah. Exactly.
How do you do that with a Russian company? Is it kind of like China, where just China doesn't give a fuck?
I think it's like you can give them a cease and desist. You can do that because
Yeah.
they're selling the product in the United States anyways.
Yeah,
But it's for some companies, it's probably such a hassle
they just don't
Right.
care.
to have to do that to translate it and blah 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 blah. It's like whatever, just fucking let them use the Mercedes logo or whatever.
Yeah,
Let them use the Magpul logo.
dude, it's just straight up
Man, I
Magpul. It's
think-
not even the logo.
Yeah, and something like Magpul, and some of these other guys, right? Like some of the other optics companies and things like that. I think
Like
some
Vortex?
of them. I'm willing to bet that Magpul's actually seen an actual bump in sales because of this game.
Yeah,
110%.
Yeah,
I mean, it's how many people have you seen on social media build a gun, an actual gun, to look like their Tarkov counterparts, or vice versa, right?
I literally watch a page all the time where the dude he's like a gun from Tarkov, and it's a AK 545 AK with the M-bus stock with the buffer tube attachment. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, it's sick looking, and I'm sure they've gotten a lot of shit for it. So they're like, we'll just let it slide.
I'm sure there's companies, SIG. I think SIG is going to be one of those companies too, where they're like, fuck it, whatever. First of all, like the old school back in the day when like Gran Turismo and those guys, Forza first came out, right? They were like, you know what? This is actually good for, some car companies were like, hey, we don't mind. It's actually good for us. Other ones like Porsche were pretty shitty about it, right?
They
But,
still shitty about
the
it?
issue with Porsche is that their rights were owned by EA.
Right.
So all their game rights were owned by EA.
Right.
And
But so, even,
that was a
I think it
legal
was...
thing.
I think it was Ferrari that was having an issue with like Forza specifically because they didn't mind them having their cars in the game, but they didn't want them to be destroyed, right? They didn't want them to show damage and shit, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they were okay with like Forza doing it because Forza was making a good representation of their car, right? They were making an actual, and I think SIG is probably the same way. I'm completely talking out of my ass because I have no idea, but I'm sure SIG's like, you know what? They've built a beautiful representation of our weapons, and they play well, and it gives somebody the chance to fuck around with one of our weapons that then may go out and buy one, right? Like how you've talked about it. You've wanted to buy a MPX, the honey badger, not the honey badger, the MPX with the 300 blackout, right?
Not because of Tarkov though. Because
Well.
that gun sucks in Tarkov. It's a dog shit gun in Tarkov. God!
My camera
his
died.
camera's
Cameron
froze.
is perfectly...
His
Oh
camera
god.
froze.
Uh-oh.
Wait for it. It should
Technical difficulties.
be. Wait.
There, it's
oh,
back.
oh,
He was
oh.
black and white there
Am
for
I
a second.
back?
Yeah,
Right?
you're back.
Looks like
you're
it.
good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Is it doing
Yeah,
that
'cause
thing?
It's because EOS utility wouldn't open, and so I couldn't
okay.
get it to not. It's going to turn off in another 30 minutes or
30
whatever,
minutes.
so-
Man, we'll be
Can you-
just about
can you
done by then.
Yeah, can you change that shit?
There's
No,
a utility that you have to download for it.
I have it, and it wasn't
Working.
Wasn't playing nice.
it wasn't detecting the camera. I think that's due to the USB drivers I have set up so I can play Melee.
Makes sense. VJoy fucks up everything.
Yeah, it's
I-
I think it's the Win USB driver
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that
Yeah, I
also
think-
fucks up everything.
Yeah.
VJoy, dude, when I would it goes back to Tarkov, I would play Melee for a while, and when I had it set on my, because I have the May Flash one, where I had it set to PC and I did my own thing for GameCube, which is not the way to do it if you guys ever want to play Melee on PC. But
Yeah.
but I had it like that, so I used VJoy. When I would ever get back onto Tarkov, I would just do circles because it was set up for some reason. It was set up to my Tarkov, and I would just do circles the whole time.
The same
Oh.
thing happened to me when I would play Quake Live.
Yeah, I
would
was
just
like,
do circles.
so I'd have to go into my drivers and turn off VJoy. I was like, fuck this. So I went back to the Win USB, and it worked a lot better. But I was like, dude, that's bullshit. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, that's what we have to go through as Melee players.
I know it's rough.
Yeah.
Nintendo can suck it.
Yeah, fuck
Okay,
that.
so getting back to our Tarkov talk and all that kind of stuff, I wanted to bring up
Good call.
since since the Cycle Frontier beta came out, was it the 15th, I think, so 5 days
Yeah.
ago. I've been playing some of that. Colin, you played some of it with me. Cameron, I don't think he's played it yet.
I haven't tried it yet.
So you don't have a whole lot of knowledge here on this, but we can talk about it maybe with a little, as a new person kind of playing this game. I wanted to, is Cycle Frontier a better game than Escape from Tarkov?
That's like comparing American football and Australian
Rugby,
football.
yeah, right.
Yeah. It's they're very similar. I would consider that, but I
Right.
don't know if you can put them in the same category. The Cycle Frontier.
You don't think you can put them in the same category? They're not the same game. They're not the same game loop.
They're the same.
They both have traders. So they both have the dating sim.
Yeah.
Right. They both have a hideout that you have to upgrade. So they both have the mobile game.
Yeah.
Right. They both what else was I trying to get to? Right.
Yeah.
They're both instance based raids.
Yes.
Right. Now the way they go about them is a little different, and I'll be honest, the Cycle Frontiers mechanic in that aspect is superior to Tarkov's. It
100%.
just is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it is.
Yeah.
So they're both instance based raids that you have to extract from, right? You lose all your gear when you take in with you, unless you insure it. They both have insurance systems now.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of there is a lot more similar than dissimilar.
I would agree.
As someone who hasn't played it, here's my perspective. The reason I haven't played it yet, and I have played Tarkov, is because the reason I'm interested in Tarkov is the mechanical depth, the realism, the intensity, the blah blah blah. The Cycle Frontier looks to me like, I don't know, Outer Worlds or something, and like that game's good and all, but that's not what I want. What I want is I want that
Intensity, the
mill sim or whatever the fuck you want to call it, that realistic, intense shooting.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big one up that Tarkov has. And it's the hard one that anybody else coming into this space is going to have a hard time with. Cuz we can talk about some of the other stuff I've heard about with the new Destiny 2 or not Destiny Division game that's coming out.
What?
That is supposed
There's
to
a
be
new Division?
very much like Tarkov, and it's going to be free to play.
Okay. I like Division 1. That'll be
So
interesting.
there's been a bunch of leaks about it, and let's just talk about that. I'll try and gather a bunch of information for next week, and we can get into it next week and talk about it. But yes, so that's another one that's coming too. But I think that even still, that's going to have some hard time coming up with against Tarkov in the realism department because of the way the Division does their PvE encounters, right? Some of that shit's pretty ludicrous.
Like the bullet spongy shit?
The bullet spongy shit, right? Yeah. So a lot of us like to complain in Tarkov about the bullet sponge shit when people are wearing super high tier armor, but that's nothing compared to the Division.
You could be shooting at someone for a solid, like, straight 20 seconds with an LMG, and then you just take off their shield, and they
right?
still have
Yeah,
the health bar.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but okay. So, and those are good points, Cameron. I think that's a big bonus for Tarkov, and something that Tarkov's got going for it is that intensity. I think the other major thing after playing the cycle again for a little bit is the actual gunfights in Tarkov when they happen, like we alluded to earlier, are significantly more intense than they are in the Cycle Frontier. The gunfights in that game, and I think it's a prime example of the dumbing down, right, a little bit, because you get hit markers in the cycle, and you get headshot hit markers in the cycle when you get them, right? Yeah. Both in the PvE and everything. So it's like, I don't know. I think I'm beyond hit marker games, right? I think
I
the hit markers
think-
are kind of dumb now.
That's a different story altogether.
I think for that style of game, that specific like the cycles style of game, its art style, I think it works.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
But, like-
I don't think you're right. I'm not arguing that point. I just think I'm over that, and that's one of the things that turns me off from that game.
So how does a hit marker discourage you from playing? Oh, not discourage you, but make it feel less impactful.
It just it pulls me out of what's happening in the game.
I get that. I understand that.
See, I don't see that because I understand why there's hit markers in that game, and I wouldn't want hit markers in Tarkov. But like in a game like PUBG, when there was no hit markers, it was obvious when you hit somebody because it was blood splatter. But like hit
Yeah.
markers in PUBG would have been a good thing, and in the mobile version in
See,
China. In the mobile
I-
version in China, it's a huge thing. It's to have hit markers
Right.
in PUBG.
And I just don't think it. I don't think it plays well for that style of game. I think it goes back to like what Cameron was talking about with the immersion and shit. I think it just burns it for me. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing in the cycle, like you said, with that style and all that kind of stuff. It's okay to be there, but it's one of the reasons that the cycle doesn't grab me as much as Tarkov does.
No, I get that. But I think the cycle. I don't know. The cycle, you don't go there like if you go there just for gunfights, you're not going there for the right reason. I don't think. It's not just about the gunfights. It's about
But
how
what-
fast that gameplay loop is.
Okay.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
that's a huge thing for me.
It is a huge thing. It's an absolutely massive thing, and that's why that's my biggest argument for why the cycle is a better game than Tarkov is.
I agree.
But
You
I
don't
feel like
have all the
that's-
you don't have all the bullshit in the stash, so you don't have all the waiting time inside your fucking stash just to organize shit, right? You don't have all the bullshit with waiting in line and trying to get into onto a server and all that kind of shit. You don't have all the bullshit of this guy spawns at this spot, these group of guys can spawn at this spot, these group of guys can spawn at this spot, and these group of guys can spawn at this spot. So we know most likely we've got a pretty good idea that they're going to go from here along this path to this location because this is where all the fucking loot is. Right?
Yeah.
It's all predictable. The Tarkov has become completely predictable about where routes are and where you can try and intercept people to kill them.
Yeah.
The cycle has none of that because you have
I
no
agree.
fucking idea where anybody's at in that game.
Yeah.
And
What-
I think
what were you
that's
gonna say,
better.
Tom? I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's better too.
I can't even remember what I was going
Oh,
to say.
no, you're
But
fine.
Sorry, I
in ter-
apologize.
No,
No,
you're
you're
good.
fine, Dad.
I was interrupting you. But like in terms of hit markers, I personally don't like them, especially in a competitive or player versus player thing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like hit markers. Like if Counter-Strike brought hit markers in, it would piss me off so bad. Because
Counter Strike has hit markers, they're not visual; they're audio.
that's what I like. I like
That's
because
fine,
then you're
yeah.
using more than just like it's not fucking telling you on the screen, hey, you hit this guy. And especially if they're like they change color when they're headshots, I hate that too. The ambiguity is like that's what separates like good decent game sense from great game sense. It's like knowing, oh yeah, I hit him in the head for sure. The dink or the gush from Counter-Strike is like a
Yeah.
good example. Being able to listen for it and distinguish it in your ear is good. And but as far as like looter shooters go, if it's like more PvE, is the cycle more PvE oriented?
I would consider it maybe a tiny bit more PvE, but I don't know. The cycle, it's hard to point out what it would be more oriented around because if you're in the right area, like Tarkov, you can get more PvP. So it's a lot like Tarkov in that aspect. It's a good. I would say it's a good balance between PvE and PvP. I would say now I think about it, there is a lot more mobs in the cycle to fight compared to scavs and Tarkov if you want to compare the two. But it it is a different
But
game
they're
overall.
but the problem too is, and this is not me praising Tarkov in any sense of the imagination, because you know that how much I hate the AI in Tarkov. I
Yeah,
think
we all do.
it's garbage tier, right? But
Cheeky
it's
breaky.
it's no, I didn't say I hated the voice lines.
I
Listen to
love the voice
listen to
lines.
The
listen
voice
to the
lines are
beginning
really
of
good.
our fucking
Yeah.
podcast. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
But no, it's not the AI in Tarkov. At least it seems to be, you're fighting something. In the cycle, it's just dumb shit running at you,
Yeah.
sprinting at you. That's all it is. There's
Yeah,
no there's no fight against a mob, right? It's just the one little guys run at you and jump at you, and then the other little guys run at you and shoot spooge at you, right? And then the big guys fucking run at you and swipe at you, and then if they can't, for some reason, if you jump on the other side of a fucking cliff or something, they lob shit at you. I mean,
More
it's just
spooge.
more spooge at
more
you,
spooge.
right?
Yeah,
So it's like and then there's the other ones that just run at you and then self-destruct and explode. It's everything just runs at you mindlessly.
Yeah.
So it's the PvE portion of that game is garbage tier. I'm sorry, but it just is.
I agree.
The PvE and the cycle is shit. It's there as a deterrent, in my opinion.
what would you do to make the PVE better? I almost feel like if you had really good AI, like Fear 1 level AI, where they're hiding behind cover and they're tossing nades and shit like that, that would be so annoying in a game where you have both PVE and PvP. I think it makes sense that like compare it to a MOBA. The PVE guys are just the minions, and
That's
the PvP
exactly.
guys are the champions.
I,
You know what
I,
I'm
I
saying?
yeah, I think you're looking at it wrong, Dad, because the game is based around PvP. That's
Yeah.
what they. I mean, originally it was a fucking battle royale, you know.
No,
So
right. Yeah. I get it. It's just there's I don't see a reason. The only reason that the mobs are even in the game right
yeah,
now is to give you the shit to turn into your fucking traders. In my opinion, there's only reason you kill the fucking little one guys is so that you can get their spines, because you have to turn those in, right? And
yeah.
the only reason you kill the rattlers is to get their eyes to turn them in, or unless you get cornered and you can't do anything else, you have to fucking kill them.
Well, that's not 100% true too, because you can make armor off. You can farm them,
It's
make
true.
armor out of their shit.
You could farm them and make armor off of them,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
there is a reason they're there. There's a reason why Jeffs are there, the bigger guys, and then there's a reason why the rock, we've never met the rock people because we've never been on the other map, but there's rock NPCs that have a lot of health that are a lot more involved in fighting.
Right.
But yeah, they still just shoot them 1,000 times and then they die. But they're more involved because of that. And you have
Right.
there's if you want to call it mechanics like a MMO, but there's more mechanics involved.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
but
you're right. I have not played the second map of
yeah,
that game. I've only played the one map.
you make a lot more money on that map, but it's a lot harder. A
Sure.
lot more vertical actually. So
Okay.
it's meant for the battle royale when you had like jetpacks and shit. But
Oh,
they
okay.
wanted to keep that verticality because they wanted to make it like a harder map basically.
Right, right.
Um, but yeah, I think comparing the two is like comparing Call of Duty and Battlefield. You can't. They're the same game basically, but in different fucking bodies. I don't know.
They're both
It's
not
Yeah.
games I want to play.
yeah, true.
They're not. It's. I don't think it's that different though. I mean,
But
yeah,
the space of like a Tarkov like game is so small.
Yeah,
There,
it's
how you
true.
can count the amount on one hand compared to like
It's,
Counter Strike, where there's a
well,
million competitive
right.
first person shooters. There's
yeah.
There's
a
three.
billion of them.
There's three in Tarkov right now, right? In the Tarkov universe.
Yeah, there's Tarkov, the Cycle, and I actually don't even know the third. Which one's the third?
Hunt Showdown.
Oh, Hunt Showdown.
Oh yeah, fuck, we should play that more. I forgot
I agree.
That game even existed.
We need to play that
Shit, that game's
soon
fun.
because that game's
That
a
game
blast.
might be the best out of the three of them, and we don't
It's
play it enough.
it's
No.
the most bare bones.
You know, that
Like-
game
That game
That game-
has S tier audio, like
Oh,
legitimate
yes.
S tier
yeah,
audio.
really good
100%.
audio. Yeah.
Yes.
The movement in that game is pretty fucking good. Like legitimately, you can vault and you can do stuff around,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the movement is pretty fucking good in that game. The gunfights are not bad. I mean, they're not Tarkov good, but I think they're significantly better than the cycle,
They are intense though.
and they are
yeah.
intense.
Because of how like limited you are arsenal wise. You
Yes.
have a fucking revolver.
The
You don't
and-
have
and-
a vector. Like
Yeah.
right.
It's,
And it's still one shot headshots. Like no
Yeah.
matter basically no
Yeah.
matter what fucking gun you use.
And
And
PvE
the
wise,
PvE is
yeah.
significantly better, right?
You know, I never even thought of that, but Hunt Showdown, if Hunt Showdown did the perpetual maps like fucking like Cycle did, think about that. Think about how fun that would be.
I think that's the biggest hit on Hunt Showdown is the maps. While they're good, they're not great, right?
Yet.
And the whole concept of the hunt is what's bringing it down in my opinion, because all the other shit that we just listed off is all fucking the top of the list, right?
True.
The Hunt Showdown's got the best audio, it's got the best AI, it's got the best movement, it's got everything going for it. It's just the actual gameplay loop in the hunt isn't as good.
there's not a lot of meta progression.
Right.
Like, in Tarkov, you have the traders, you have your hideout. There's tons of meta progression. Meta progression, like using it in like a roguelike way, means like stuff outside the base mechanics of the game.
See,
There's tons of it. And in Hunt, there's like almost none. It's like Sea of Thieves.
I disagree because in Hunt, it's kind of like Call of Duty. If Call of Duty was actually good, you get this one gun, you use this gun, you level it up, you get different versions of that certain gun that you can then use, and then you can level up that version to get the next version, and then soon you have two revolvers that have chains coming off the side, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And you can almost spam them like they're automatic guns. Like that's the progression in that game. It's just if you like that sort of progression or not, I feel like.
I really like the Hunt. Like,
Yeah.
Till you just mentioned it, I completely forgot about that game. And talk about PvE, the simple minions, they're just zombies that you can fucking kill without being touched at all. But the bosses are so good
Yeah.
for that style of game. Super unique.
But even the other shit, like the fucking dogs, right? The zombie dogs, they come at you a different way
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
like the bee lady, right? She comes at
Yeah.
you a different way, right? They're the big fucking butcher guy, that comes at you, right?
Yeah.
They're all different and they all come at you in different ways. Now, granted, a lot of them do just come at you, right? But they all do it in a different way.
Yeah,
And I think it's a lot more engaging than the PvE in the cycle. The PvE in the cycle is just brain dead, right?
is.
Whereas that's a lot more engaging, but they still accomplish the same thing. They're still just coming at you, and they make a boundary between you and they're a nuisance between you and the PvP, right? They can give away your position and do all sorts of shit. So.
Yeah. We gotta play the Hunt again.
Yeah, that game is badass.
That's a fun game.
Yeah,
But
well,
I think that the biggest thing is the gameplay loop doesn't grab me like Tarkov's does for whatever reason.
I think it's because we didn't play it enough. We only played it like 2 or 3 days. I think we didn't give it enough time to fully ferment in our minds.
Do the progression.
Yeah.
Maybe that might be true. Maybe that's the case. We just didn't give it a fair shake.
I don't think so personally, but
I think it's almost like a benefit for me, for someone who doesn't like, because I don't like the progression of Tarkov that much. It's not why I play it. I almost think like the fact that there are no chads, like you don't go in the Hunt and there's someone who's fully kitted out. you could still there's still a good chance of you winning that fight.
Yeah,
There's still
you
there's
can win.
not that much of a gap in time. Like
Yeah, you can win any fight in the hunt. Even if they
Yeah.
have all the best throwing equipment, the concertina bombs, the weird bombs that make up all this weird like fucking barbed wire fence shit, you can still win a fight just one tap them in the head. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
it's that game has a really it's very balanced for how much shit is in it. I would say
And it's the
that
most
game.
unique. It's like the most inspired. Because art, like music wise, really good. Art
Yeah.
wise, really good.
I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about the music in that game because god damn,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Like Tarkov has really good music in my opinion. I think Nikita did a great job on that. But the music in that in Hunt is just I love that Bayou.
Oh yeah,
like,
for the location and it's
yeah,
the tie-in for what it is and everything. Yeah, it's
yeah.
fucking great.
The
Yeah.
Louisiana blues, like kind of like twangy. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great
Yeah.
fucking music. But
So
yeah,
I guess so. What we ended up coming out with is the Hunt is a better Tarkov than Tarkov.
I would agree.
My initial question was, is Cycle better than Tarkov, and we come up with no, Hunt is.
However, there's just not as much. Like there's not as much as Tarkov.
Right.
Tarkov has so much that you could.
There's so much
it
to
forever.
explore in Tarkov that it's insane, right? In that's the other problem I have is I don't think the gameplay loop is as good as Tarkov's is, right? However, everything else is better than it, and it has what, 2 maps? One map?
Three.
Is it 3? I thought it was
think
only
so.
2, but
I think it's
but
3.
so I mean, it gets pretty stale pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
There
The
is a lot of
locations
variance in the areas, though. Like
Oh,
the
I
maps are
agree.
decently sized.
Yeah,
And one,
yeah,
you
yeah.
could be in like this old timey cowboy town, with
Right.
a saloon and stuff, and then you could also be on farmland or in the bayou in the fucking swamps.
Swamps. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that weird castle thing?
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh,
that's
that
a
was a
great one
great-
too. We had
that's
some
a
good
fun
fights
place.
in that
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say that Tarkov is bad because I don't see it as bad. I see it as it's a love, like we've said 1,000 times. It's a love-hate relationship with Tarkov.
Yeah.
The game, it's what it does is one of the best out there for gunplay. Maybe the best game, even though they just nerfed the gunplay with the recoil reduction and everything like that. But I think gunplay, everything like that
There's
in
still
Tarkov, it's hard to beat.
the gunfights in Tarkov are hard to beat when you get in a good one. Like Cameron was saying, if you don't just get one tap from out of nowhere, right? If you get in a good gunfight, I have a hard time. I have a hard time comparing any other game that's even equivalent. You know, it's just there just isn't. The game that it's unbelievable, right? But and the setting, for whatever reason, right? That Russian, completely legitimate, happening now kind of thing, literally happening now,
Yeah.
right?
Shit.
Jesus. But that whole setting does something for me. And it might be because I'm a Rushaboo. Whatever the hell that's
You
called,
are.
right?
I love it too. I love the Eastern
Eastern
Europe vibe.
Bloc, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Not me
that's
as
why I
much,
have
but
a
that's
hard
okay.
time. That's why I have a hard time with something like the Cycle, getting into it as much. Even though I love space shit, we talked about it last week with all the Star Citizen stuff. It just
Yeah.
does, and I might have to eat my words a little bit because we did get on Mom a little bit about some of that stuff. But it might be the art style. It might be. I don't know.
No,
That's doing that.
That's totally fair. I think you have to wait. You have to sort of kind of like the way the game looks to play the game. Personally, I could play a game if it has good gunplay. I could play fucking like a good Tetris game. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It only matters about the gameplay, in my opinion. A lot of people they're like, I'm not gonna play the game unless there's 4K graphics and I can and I can, touch the screen and I can feel the textures, and it's like bullshit like that. But I mean, it all depends on how you are, and there is a limit no matter where you are in that spectrum, in my opinion. Yeah.
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 So I don't know.
I think the perfect game is the Tarkov universe with the gameplay loop in that, the audio and movement and everything of Hunt Showdown, and then the instant fucking get into raids and not know where everybody's at of the Cycle Frontier.
I agree.
That's like the fucking perfect game, right?
It
It's
would be a
fucking
perfect love
great.
child of all three.
It would be
you
a
know?
perfect love child.
One of my big
Hopefully,
issues with
go
sorry,
ahead.
you go ahead.
No, go ahead, Cameron. Go ahead.
One of my big issues with Tarkov is the fact that after you're done with a raid, it takes so long to get back into another raid. Whether that's optimization or whatever, or because it's not the raids aren't continuous,
Yeah.
but you
Right.
have to wait for them to match all the PMCs together so that they can start a raid again.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like I just get shot in the head, and then it's like, do I want to have to wait another fucking 5 minutes to get into a raid and instantly get shot in the head again?
Fucking 20 minutes half of the time.
Yeah, like
Yeah, so, sometimes you're in the lobby and more in a day than you're actually in a raid.
Well, especially when you're playing with a group of guys, right? And
100%.
or a new one, right? Where you got to kind of coach them through shit, because God forbid that fucking poor new guy has to go through all the shit and figure out, well, what should I be bringing, right?
Yeah.
And so you have all that to fucking deal with too,
See, that's a huge issue in my opinion. I love how hardcore Tarkov is. I think it's a great thing. It's awesome, but make it a little more. Maybe even, I know they're planning on having a tutorial, but just have a few pointers out in the fucking menu saying like this
Hey, you
round
didn't
will
bring
go on this gun.
hey, you didn't
Yeah.
bring any meds, right?
Yeah,
The first couple of times you try and enter a raid without, hey, you didn't bring any medical. Are you sure you want to
Yeah.
do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, the rounds that you put in your thing aren't gonna don't match the gun you've got. Is
yeah.
that really what you want to do?
Or this 9x18 doesn't work in the fully automatic because it will break the fucking thing. It's like there's a lot of different things that don't make sense. It could be a lot easier for a newer player, and I think that's why it's harder for somebody like you, Cameron, more like Mom, to get into the game, because the Mom needs more of hand holding to get into a game, in my
Right.
opinion.
At Tarkov, I need a shit ton of hand holding.
Yeah, and you're a smart dude. You understand how games fucking work. Think about if Mom played the game,
I wouldn't say I'm a smart dude, but I like, as far as like how everything fits together, how all the like this mag goes in this gun, that could all be spelled out so much clearer in the UI.
I agree.
The UI is I would say straight up bad. It's
It is.
bad.
Oh yeah.
It's not
Bad.
good.
When you right click and you see a million context menus. Oh, my
Uh-oh,
camera
I
died.
lost
My
you
camera
again.
died again.
Oh god.
Oh, it's back.
Oh, blue.
Oh,
Okay,
there we
we're
go.
good.
When you right click and you see a million context menus, it's like, and you just don't know which one does which. It's. I guess I'll just click them all. I guess I'll just waste that time.
Yeah, like required link search, or fucking whatever the other two are. It's like,
Yeah.
I fuck that up sometimes still, and I've played the game for years. I'm like, oh, I clicked the wrong. I thought I was trying to get to the. Oh, god damn it! And then it's like, they could make it a lot easier. The UI in general, the menus are dog shit. They have been forever. They've done nothing to really change it.
I think that's been one of those things that's been on their back burner forever.
Yeah.
And who knows when it's gonna.
They did do a little quality of life. They had the little things at the bottom saying
they did
Yeah.
add some shit. Yeah, they've done some quality of life stuff to help you with all the menu clicking that you have to do. They've
Yeah.
helped out some of that stuff, because it was
And-
really bad for a while.
And Veritas has a great idea. Just have presets. Just let me do presets. Let me be able to buy and set up
An
a whole
entire
preset.
loadout.
An entire loadout. I want to
That's a
have
great
this.
idea.
I want to have this rig with this backpack, this ammo, this and this thing, and then let me either have it, if I have it in my inventory, go straight on my guy, or let me be able to buy it all at once, so I don't have to click 2,000 times and then make sure I have everything, and then oh fuck, I forgot a sight for my gun. Go back to skier. Click that for skier. Oh fuck, I didn't have the laser either. God damn it! And then go back to skier again, and then click the
Right.
laser. You put it on your gun, and it's like it's on the wrong side of the gun. Fuck, put it on the other side of the gun. You're like, this is ridiculous,
Yeah.
and it's
I-
been like that for years.
If they had like an auto populate thing where like you just die with your PMC and you for me it's like, well, what's good? What do I put on? If they just had like a thing you can click and it'll put stuff that goes together and just on your PMC, throws an AK on your PMC, throws this body armor, throws this rig, does all that.
All
just
stuff
to
that
where
you have in your
yeah.
stash already. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
If that'd be great. And then from that point you could just say, well, I don't want to use my AK, I want to use my Sega, I don't want to use this, I don't want to use this nice helmet, I'll throw on this shittier helmet or whatever.
Yeah,
But just like have a thing that auto populates and then I can
you mess with it
Adjust from there.
yeah,
I agree. That's a great idea.
That's a great idea. Absolutely. Yeah, because for someone like me who pretty much lives out of his stash, I don't do a lot of buying and building guns. Right, I live out of my stash and then adjust a gun if I need it. Right,
Yeah.
that'd be sick. Because there's how many times I've like, all right, we're going to woods, so what am I doing? I could bring this or I could bring this. If I had that auto populate, it's like, okay, looks like we're going out with an AKM. Let me change the fucking dust cover and throw a fucking variable on there, and I'm golden. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many quality of life things, and obviously they're working with a lot of different shit right now, trying to fix their servers, what they've been trying to do for years. But they have a lot of things on their plate, and I understand that. But
especially right now, yeah.
especially
like,
right now,
yeah.
too.
Honestly, we shouldn't even be complaining about all that shit.
Yeah,
'Cause
but we can
it's not,
because
it's not going to get
fuck
fixed right
Nikita.
now. He's Russian. We don't like him.
No, I've never liked
He's a red Ruski.
Ow.
He supports the death of Ukrainian children.
He hasn't said anything on Twitter. He hasn't said nothing
know.
on Twitter.
I
That means
cannot
that he's a bad
believe-
guy.
I cannot believe the fucking people that say that shit. It's
know.
like, Jesus, guys.
Well, they can't say anything.
They
on
can't
Twitter?
say
No.
shit.
No, they can't say anything. Do you realize that Russia is a different type of government than us, and they might get in big trouble?
People are
It's
getting
like,
thrown in prison and worse
Yeah.
for speaking out against it. If Nikita put a fucking blue and yellow tile in his bio, like he'd be fucked.
Yeah.
He'd get
Yeah.
attacked.
yeah, it's like okay, you guys, I know you guys want to hear something because they are Russian. Totally understand that, but you got to also understand they're in a different situation than us.
Yeah.
Because we're just spectators in this terrible. It's a terrible thing. But we're just spectators. They're living
In it.
We
yeah,
also have like freedom of speech wise, our country is way better off than Russia. Then
Yeah, I could say
like in that area, we
I
can
could say-
say whatever the fuck we want. In Russia, you can't call Putin gay or he'll ban memes.
Yeah, true. But so
Okay.
we kind of went on.
I
We
think-
kind of went
yeah.
on a rant. Yeah.
And we're also over, so we got to get
okay.
to what we're watching, what we've
Thank
been
you.
watching.
I was trying to
Yeah.
transition to
Okay.
that. Let's start out with Camo.
Oh yeah.
What have you
yeah.
been watching lately?
What about YouTube wise? I'm just like watching Oni plays
Just-
every day.
Yeah.
My usual shit.
Wait, can you, for those of us who don't know what Oni Plays is, I know you do and Colin probably does, but I don't really know.
It's like a Let's Play channel, similar like Game Grumps or Best Friends Play, but it's older personalities from like Newgrounds, animators, voice actors, stuff like that. So they have like Chris O'Neill, who's it's Oni Plays, it's his channel, and he's one of the most well-known YouTube animators of all time. Like some of his videos have like 50 million fucking views. And then Zach Hadel, who now has a show on Adult Swim, an animated show on Adult Swim, and Lyle Rath, who's done a bunch of voice acting and blah blah. So it's just it's those guys, and then they just play games and talk over it. And to me, it's
Do
crack.
stupid shit.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
fucking love it. I just like their personalities a lot. So, and then other than that, Jimmy Broadbent,
The Jimmer.
Got back into sim racing.
Sim racing stuff.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and that lispy British fuck is pretty entertaining.
And he's back. He's back driving real cars too, right?
Yeah,
He got
yeah.
picked back up for the Praga.
Yeah, he's doing
stuff?
another
Yeah.
season in Brit Car Endurance, and
Yep.
I think he's planning on doing his Miata as a time attack car. So he's doing a bunch of real fucking crazy
cool.
racing shit.
Cool.
He's living the dream.
Yeah.
What about you, Dad?
Well, I'm watching the fucking American version of that, which Cameron thrift stores wearing one of the hats.
I knew you talking about Cletus.
That's the one YouTube channel that I watch a lot of and watch pretty much everything they put out because that guy is living my life, the life I would love. Man, he bought an old abandoned fucking racetrack and brought it back to life, and he's building cars and doing goofy shit, and he's doing the old school Top Gear shit for real. Right.
That's cool.
In real life. I mean, legitimately, him and his buddies do just crazy fun shit with the cars that they've got. Right. And with the racetrack that they own now. And it's fun to watch, it's good to watch, so I've been watching a lot of that. And then, like I talked about last week, the GTA 5 bug, the no pixel bug kind of caught me a little bit again. So I've been watching some no pixel stuff. So that's been kind of fun to watch too.
I have been watching more D&D than usual again. I would say I spend every time I play Lost Ark and nobody else is on, which is a lot lately. The whole time I'm playing Lost Ark, I'm just grinding and watching D&D. I'm getting to the point where I haven't watched any Critical Role, and I'm like, well, that's the next thing now, so I guess I gotta start watching that, because I finished almost all the D20 stuff that I enjoy. If you ever watch D20, it's the college humor, one of the
Right.
I talked about him before.
Right.
The Dungeon Master there is great, so I love him, but there's a certain group there that I like. They call themselves the Adventuring Party or whatever. So I love those guys, and I'll watch all that. And then I think I'm gonna watch some Critical Role shit now. And then
isn't Critical Role technically the biggest channel in Twitch?
On Twitch, yeah, they made the most money when the leak came out. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, they had the most money, which is wild.
They've been around forever. Like,
Yeah.
Critical Role's been around forever.
And that Dungeon Master, I can't remember his name, but you could ask him anything about D&D, any generation of D&D, and he'll tell you the rule for it. And it's like, holy shit, that's a lot of knowledge.
Off the top of his head?
Off the top of his head.
Jesus, that's
And
impressive. Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking knowledge, because like first generation D&D is like weird shit compared to what it is now. 5e is crazy.
First gen D&D was back in the 60s.
Yeah. It's, maybe not first, but like he's talking about like third gen, the 3. I don't know if it's 3E or whatever it is.
Right.
But I was watching a trivia show with him, and he's like, "Oh, this blah blah blah. This is how it works there. Charisma wasn't a very powerful stat, so they made it in 4E. They made a sorcerer that was built off of charisma." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It was something
and
like
he just
that.
knows shit off the top of his head.
Yeah. So it's like it's crazy, but I've been watching a lot of that, and then for some reason RuneScape bug hit me again, and I've been watching a lot of RuneScape creators. I don't play the game really. I have a character, but don't really play the game, but I love watching RuneScape shit for some reason.
Similar with Halo for me. I watch Halo stuff a lot, and I don't play Halo anymore.
Yeah.
Have you had any desire to watch that new live action show
Which one?
for Halo?
Oh, fuck no.
No, that looks like
Fuck no.
dog shit.
Does it
Dude,
really?
I'm like a fan of the lore, and because it's canon and because it's following Chief, there's no way I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, they claim it's canon. There's a fucking Chevy Tahoe in the goddamn trailer. I'm not watching it. It looks like shit. I've heard good things from like TV critics.
Yeah.
But I'm a Halo critic.
Sure.
I know a decent amount of the lore. I'm not gonna. I don't.
You can go to the Halo channels, Cameron, that you love so much, and see how they think about it.
Oh my god. There's Halo personalities and channels I like, and there's Halo personalities that I fucking hate.
I know one of them. What?
Whiniest, bitchiest fucking people, man.
Dude, what's his name? There's no point of calling him out, but he is a bitch.
I'll call him out.
Call him out.
Halo followers, you are pussies. You are
Who?
pussies.
I think
Halo
Colin,
follower.
Yeah.
and Hidden Xperia, and I mean, there's more. Like, there's a shit ton more.
Oh yeah,
They are
just
pussies,
and it's
man.
because they like Halo 3 compared to Halo 2.
Which is,
Fuck
it's Halo 3 is a great game.
Not a better game than Halo 2.
If your fingers move like a Parkinson's patient. Like, if you're so slow on the controller, and they move too fast in Halo 5. It's too hard to do button combos like in Halo 2 because I get finger pains if I'm moving it. Like, they're poor girlfriends, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
It's because we're melee players. Nobody understands this, Cameron.
No, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people understand us.
Yeah,
I think the majority don't understand us because a majority of people would say that Halo 3 is a great game, which it is, but it's not Halo 2.
I think the majority of people who are Halo fans say that Halo 3 is a great game, and like people who are nostalgic for that time. You
Yeah.
go back and you play Halo 3, and it's so fucking slow, and
Yeah.
the Magnum sucks a fat cock, and the BR is it doesn't have 100% accuracy. It's like the first shot is accurate, and then the second two of the burst are 10% less accurate. Just randomness.
Yeah.
Why? Halo 2, it's a fucking laser beam, and it feels so good to double shot. And you fucking BXR someone, and oh my god, it makes you come instantly. There's cum everywhere when you're done playing Halo 2. Halo 3, your brain's leaking out of your fucking ear, and oh my god. I don't hate it. I don't hate Halo 3. It's fine.
Sounds like you hate it.
But I mean, play the game. Like, the gameplay, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
it's the most base Halo. Halo CE has way more interesting mechanics than Halo 3.
Yeah, including nukes.
Yeah, the grenades kill everybody on screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you can throw a grenade, and you could in Halo CE, and it can launch an item. So if you know certain grenade throws, like in Counter-Strike, for flashes and shit,
Yeah.
you could do the same thing, but with weapon spawns. You time weapon spawn, you throw a nade, and then it'll blow up and it'll come towards you. That shit's super cool. Halo 3, you have the bubble shield, and you have the launch, the thing that the man cannon.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else?
Whiny 30-year-olds.
Oh,
In your
the talk on.
comms? Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. We definitely went over time, but that's all right.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
It's my Halo rant.
No, you're fine. We didn't have one not last week, but the week before, so it's a little
Yeah,
extra
it's
for
extra
for the 3 people that watch it that are right here making
Oh,
it.
and
So.
real quick on your D&D thing, if you want to watch more D&D, Corridor Crew does a D&D.
Yeah, they do a
thing.
whole D&D thing too.
And then everything that because they're VFX guys, everything that they do, they act out, and they'll put visual effects in it. They're like making.
They put themselves in a 3D realm and
wow.
everything.
Yeah. It's like cinematic. They'll do a cinematic shot of them doing what they're doing in the actual game.
That's cool. So, I just want to thank anybody that's watching. We really do appreciate it. I want to thank Cameron for being here and helping us edit and make them.
And edit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the guy that edits all the videos and slaps everything together and makes us not look like fools.
I'm the one uploading it, so like if you guys comment and you see a reply, it's probably me who's going to be replying to it.
Yeah. Which could be a problem sometimes, but we'll talk to him later about that.
We like criticism is really important.
I agree.
We need
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
We did, especially the first we talked about that. Neither one of us are snowflakes. We can take criticism. So please let us know. I know. I've already watched them. I watch them, and I notice when I'm just sitting there with my mouth agape, like if trying to catch flies, because I actually caught myself doing that in the last one, and I forgot about it this one, so I'm probably doing it again in this one. So.
And and like I said, we really do appreciate it. And if you guys did enjoy it, even if you did have criticisms, Jesus Christ, we would like
No, it's thrift store Jesus, not Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck you. A like and a comment and whatever you can do just to make it even a little bit more known, so people that are new to Tarkov can hear a little bit of content that they are not going to get from all the guys that are doing the 16-hour streams and stuff like that. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing it, just to kind of help everybody out, not just the people that can dedicate their lives to the game. So I
True.
really do appreciate it, and thank you guys for watching.
See you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.